The Hollow Crown. The king was dying, and the ravens had already come to the ramparts. They arrived that morning, 13 of them, clutching the frost-tipped stones of Caer Dalen like sentries. No one touched them. No one dared to shoo them away. The scullery maids whispered that it was the sign of the 13th ride, the omen that comes when a blood bargain is nearly due. Enid overheard them from the upper halls, but said nothing. She only watched the birds with dark, steady eyes as the castle trembled quietly around her. Caer Dalen had stood for 400 years. Its towers once shimmered with banners of gold and green, its halls drunk with laughter, its chapel bright with song. Now the banners were moth-eaten, and the chapel smelled of mildew and rats. Winter had come early that year, and the crops had never risen. The people whispered. They whispered of the black hound seen pacing the fields at dusk, of a rider with hollow eyes glimpsed on the river's edge, of the way the wind screamed a name. They whispered that King Elric had done something no Christian king should do. They whispered that his daughter would be the price. Enid entered the king's chambers before sunset. Elric lay crooked in the bed, pale as ash bark, muttering to himself in a tongue Enid didn't know. His eyes stared through her, through the stone ceiling itself, as if he already saw beyond the veil. Enid knelt beside him. "I'm here," she said. He gripped her wrist. His hand was light as straw, but sharp as bone. "You mustn't scream," he whispered. "When they come, show no fear. They smell fear." Her throat tightened. "You said they were just stories." "They're always stories," he murmured, "until the bloodshed starts." She stared at him. Then, "You made the bargain, didn't you?" A flicker of wet, cracked laughter. "The hunt rides for kingdoms in need. The old kings knew. We were starving. The rebels were at the gate. The bishop's prayers had failed." "So you called the wild hunt?" He wheezed. "I told them. Protect my line. Keep Caer Dalen whole." "And the cost?" "Firstborn heir, and the castle falls." Enid looked down at the tarnished gold circlet on the night sand. It looked so small now, so stupid. The wind rose. The window shutters banged open. Outside, the sky had turned black, though it was not yet night. A long, mournful howl tore through the air. The castle held its breath. Enid stood slowly. "I won't scream," she said. The doors of the great hall burst open with a groan like a forest mourning its own death. 6 riders entered, cloaked in tattered black, antlered helms rising like crowns of bone. Their mounts had no eyes, and their breath steamed black from their nostrils. The hunt did not walk. They glided just above the ground, hooves never touching the stone. One rider stepped forward. His mount had no skin. His voice was cool as moonlight on a grave. "Daughter of Elric, you have been promised. Come." Enid didn't move. The bishop fell to his knees. The steward wept, but no one shushed them. "I didn't make the promise," Enid said. "But you carry the blood," the rider replied. "And blood answers for blood." "I am not afraid of you," she lied. "You should be." "I want to see where it ends," she said. "Take me if you can." She turned and ran. She fled through the kitchens, past dumbstruck servants, past the old crumbling chapel where the statues had lost their arms. Into the woods beyond the gate she ran barefoot. Snow bit her feet, thorns tore her shift. Behind her, the sound of hooves didn't follow. Not yet. Because the hunt doesn't chase prey. They herd. The forest loomed around her, gnarled trees bent inward like penitents. Fog curled between the roots. Enid ran until she collapsed beside a hollow tree. Then, a voice beside her. "You run like a prince," it said, "but bleed like a lamb." Enid turned. A single rider stood among the trees, not mounted now. Helm off, face bare. He was young, his eyes the color of an overcast sky. "Do you know what we are?" he asked. "You're ghosts." "We were kings once," he said. "Men of Caer Dalen. Knights. Fools. You gave yourselves to the hunt." He smiled without joy. "We were promised eternal war. Instead, we got eternal collection. There's no glory in what we are." "Then let me go." He shook his head. "Your father called us. You are the payment." She looked at him. "Do you remember your name?" He hesitated. "Osric." Enid stood. "Then remember this, Osric. If you take me, the crown dies with me. No heir, no bloodline, no kingdom, just ruin." He met her gaze. "Then we'll all be ash together." She stared. She reached the witch's hollow at midnight. It was a place of black earth and leaning stones, of circles carved into trees and the crackle of ancient power. The wild hunt surrounded Enid. The trees shook with their presence. Their mounts stood at the edge of the tree ring, steaming and silent. The lead rider approached. "The blood yields," he said. "No," said Enid. "The land speaks." Enid cut her palm and let the blood fall in a circle. "I invoke the pact of bone and soil," she shouted. The forest screamed. Roots cracked the earth, the air filled with the sound of 1,000 whispered names. Dead kings, dead sons, dead daughters, all buried beneath Caer Dalen. The riders reeled. "You know the right." "I do," she said. "I know the old tongue, the one your knights spoke before they forgot." Enid raised her arms. "I call you by your names. Osric of the Hollow Spear, Alwyn of the Red Banner, Cerwyn of the Field of Crows. You were knights once, sworn to protect Caer Dalen. I wear its crown. Swear again." The hunt shuddered. One by one the riders took off their helms. Only the crowned one remained. "You would make us servants," he hissed. "No," Enid said. "I make you my counsel." The wind died. The hooves stopped. Enid returned to the castle in silence. Her shift was torn, her feet bleeding, her eyes hollow. But she walked like a sovereign. The guards fell back as she passed. Inside the throne room, the nobles stared. No one spoke. She mounted the dais and took the throne. "I have made a new pact," she said. "No one will touch Caer Dalen, but the land will always remember the cost." Above her, the ravens took wing. And though no hoof struck the sky that night, every peasant claimed they heard something in the wind. A name. Enid. queen who turned the hunt.